I think we all are ready to recognize Russia's legitimate security interests. And Russia is entitled not to be invaded. But we've already established that nobody has any intention of doing that. If you allow Russia to unilaterally define what its security interests are, then you're on a very slippery slope. I was born in communist Poland. We had 80,000 Soviet troops against our will on our territory, maintaining communism for 45 years. We didn't like it. We also had a joke. What is a secure border of the Soviet Union? A secure border of the Soviet Union is a border that has Soviet soldiers on both sides of it. And this is what Putin is doing again in Belarus, in Ukraine, in all those other places. This is not a war about NATO membership, which is a hypothetical possibility. This is the last gasp of Russian imperialism. This is Russia's Algeria, Russia's Angola, Russia's Ireland, above all. When an empire weakens and subject peoples want their liberty, it's always a very complicated and usually bloody process. Britain gave up its first dominions, then colonies, in a more graceful manner than most European empires did. It usually is very difficult for the metropolis to even acknowledge the otherness of the colony. As I mentioned, are peasants wanting a state? What's that about? This is about Russia's definition of itself. And it would be good for Russia to acknowledge that Ukraine is separate, because only then does Russia have a chance to become a normal nation state, rather than an empire, even theoretically speaking. So the Ukrainians are now telling the Russians, look, we are willing to die for our otherness. How many of you do we have to kill for you to acknowledge that? And the sooner the Russians admit that the price for maintaining empire is not worth it, the sooner this conflict will end. So we should acknowledge Russia's legitimate security interests, but Russia has to acknowledge the right of its neighbors to exist and to have security interests as well. Thank you.
He just agreed with us. He just agreed with us.